You have lost nearly everything and are ready to come back stronger than ever on today's episode of Oblyron Divination. Greetings, Soul Family. I am Oblyron, the Lord of Love and the Magister of the Cube. Thank you for joining me on today's Elemental Synastry Reading. It's a divination technique I devised which combines the tarot, astrology, and the 5 elements. So this reading transcends space and time, and if you resonate with this, then leave a comment and let us know how it resonates with you. Okay, so I draw a tarot card to see what is influencing the element first, and then I roll the astrology die to see what the advice or the likely outcome of that influence will be. Okay, so let's see, what is the first card? Alright, so we have an inverted 7 of Wands, which can mean, let's say, normally in its upright position, it means that you are sort of overcoming adversity. However, in this inverted position, it is more like feeling daunted by everything that is happening. So we are getting a sense that we may be losing ground or something is impending in the future, which may lead to a less than favorable outcome for us. Now, this is in the spirit, which means it hasn't quite manifested yet, but it is sort of happening just beyond our scope of perception. So what do the astrology die have to recommend? All right. Okay, so we got Venus in Pisces in the 9th house. All right. So I roll once for the house, and then I roll a second time for the decan. All right. And we get a 9 again. All right. So we are in the 3rd decan of Pisces. Very interesting. Okay, this is inverted. All right. Okay, so this is suggesting that despite the feelings of being overwhelmed or of feeling daunted by what we're facing, it's a very healthy correction, because the 3rd decan of Pisces is a very favorable card. It is the Lord of perfected success, and essentially what we have is it's very favorable in how we choose to view our lives. It's very favorable. It's when we have it all. It's when we have, let's say, the family life, the wealth, it's everything that we need. And on an emotional level, we feel very fulfilled. And on a spiritual level, we also feel very fulfilled. So whatever's happening in this, it's essentially telling us to not worry about it, because the outcome of this is going to be favorable. And it's also interesting that it's tied in with the 9th house, which is ruled by Sagittarius. Sagittarius has a lot to deal with spirituality and higher learning. And so that, combined with the energy of Pisces being the Lord of perfected success, means that we have to look on a very spiritual level and really find what we're looking for on that type of level to really overcome what is happening in the spirit. Now, the planet influencing this is also Venus. So it's suggesting that perhaps we need to look towards the finer things in life, towards the beauty of life as well, in order to find that perfected success. Perhaps we need to look towards our creative endeavors as well, because Venus can also represent creativity, not just in a fertility sense, but also in a creative sense as well. So This also tied in with family means that, for those of you who do have families, or for those of you who are looking for families, maybe you'll find some sort of solace and resolution in that as well. And so that, again, all of it will contribute to overcoming this sort of adversarial energy that we are experiencing in the spirit. So, yeah, very, very positive outlook to an otherwise very daunting card. Okay, so let's move along and see what the element of fire is being influenced by. All right, so fire is represented by the wands. It also represents our drives and ambitions, and the spirit on the tangible level. So, the human spirit as well. Again, which goes back to our drives and ambitions. So what is fire being influenced by? And also, what you'll find is the reading will all relate back to the spirit. It all relates back to the first card that we draw. Okay. So let's see, what do we have here? Inverted strength. Okay, we're getting a lot of inverted cards here. Now, it's interesting because Leo is also represented by the strength card, which is, as some of you may know, is also a fire sign. So it's interesting that fire is being influenced by, let's say, sort of an inverted fire sign. So we have inverted strength. Now, normally, the card is, represents, again, the strength of our character. And when it's in an inverted position, it could suggest maybe some type of health problem, or maybe we can also be making, mountains out of molehills. Maybe we're making things bigger than they appear to be. And let's see, well, with the strength, or I'm sorry, with the spirit being, being influenced by the inverted 7, I don't think that this is necessarily sort of making something out of nothing. This probably has to deal either more with health issues. And again, if you're experiencing health issues, make sure to go see a doctor as well. Don't just, take an elemental synastry reading for it. But it could represent health reasons, or also maybe we could be in a weakened state, a weakened physical state as well, or a state in which our drives and ambitions are also weakened. Maybe we feel defeated, and it would make sense, especially with the inverted 7 of wands there. Okay, so a lot of fire energy and a lot of inversions. So let's see what the astrology die have to recommend for this. Okay. The North Node in Aquarius in the 10th house. All right. Okay. And let's set that up and re-roll for the decan. Okay, we got a 3. So that's the first decan of Aquarius. All right. Okay, this is very interesting. So the first decan of Aquarius is the Lord of Defeat. And wow, it could either mean a sore winner or a sore loser. However, with this feeling of dauntedness and with the sort of weakened state of our strength, I would say it's probably more of the sore loser side. So we have lost a battle. Okay, so something here, excuse me for a moment, my allergies are acting up and my nose has been kind of runny for the past couple weeks. Okay, so what's interesting is we have the Lord of Defeat, and it would make sense because, again, with all these with all these inverted cards and with everything that's been happening to us, it would make sense that would be influencing us. Now, it's in the 10th house, which is ruled by Capricorn, and that would suggest that it has to do with probably our careers, or maybe our status in life. Perhaps we've experienced a loss or a blow to our job or our career or our finances, something akin to that. Now, and that's what caused us to sort of be in this weakened state as well. Again, with the fire representing our drives and ambitions, if we were to experience a loss in our career, well, that would make sense why we would feel overwhelmed. I mean, it seems like just everything is working against us right now. At least that's how this reading sort of is panning out. And what it's saying, what's influencing this is the North Node. And that would suggest that perhaps maybe we are experiencing this loss because we haven't been true to our North Node. And I know, again, when it comes to careers and when it comes to finances, I mean, the majority of us, we do what we have to get by. We do what we have. We take those jobs that we don't necessarily like or have ever wanted to do, but we do it because, you've got to pay bills. And so we find ourselves put into these, compromising positions because a lot of people are afraid to get fired. A lot of people are afraid to lose that stream of income, especially if you have a family here, which is what it's suggesting as well. So I would say, yeah, there's a lot of overwhelming feelings, and there's a lot of emotions, especially in the spirit realm too. And I would say that definitely this is the time to really reflect and ask yourself what it is that you really want from your life, especially when it comes to matters of career, because it all seems to be tied in. Career and family seems to be one and the same, and that there's a lot of disruption here because there's also a lot of disruption here. So yeah, let's see how the rest of the reading goes. Hopefully we'll get something a little bit more optimistic. All right, so moving along, we have the element of air, which is represented by the swords. Okay, so what is influencing the element of air? Okay. Now, the element of air generally represents either our communication or our intellectual endeavors. So let's see. What is happening there? Ooh, okay. We got the 5 of Cups. All right, now, this is the mourning card. So we are experiencing a loss, generally a very big loss, a loss that's big enough to put us into a state of mourning. And yeah, it would make sense. I mean, you have conflicts in your job, you have conflicts in your family life, and all these overwhelming feelings. So it would make sense that even on a communicative level, that we probably don't have the words to say or the words to communicate. Man, this is, I don't know, for some reason this feels like it may be a specific individual rather than a collective reading. These are normally designed to be collective readings, but this could be a specific individual as well. Let's see what the astrology die have to say about this. Okay, we have the South Node in Aquarius in the 12th house. Okay. And let's re-roll. All right. So we're in the middle decan of Aquarius. So the Lord of Earned Success. Okay. Now, the Lord of Earned Success, especially when it's related to the South Node, has to deal with sort of, let's say, life lessons learned. things will work out in the end, but you have to go through a lot of hardship to get there. And yeah, with this morning card coming out, it's like, wow, you're going through some really bad times right now, and it seems like all three of these elements are kind of really, really, really being negatively influenced. What's also impacting this too is we have a square that is formed between the element of spirit and the element of air. So it's kind of a double whammy. On one hand, with the south node influencing this, it would suggest to look towards your past or your past lives and the lessons that you've learned. And again, on one hand, and that squares the energy of the spirit, which is saying look towards what you have now and look towards the beauty of what you have now as well. So yeah, both of those elements are squaring each other. So a lot of times when a square happens between this, it means that we have sort of extra difficulty and extra hardship in trying to overcome both of these elements. If one of them was positive and the other one was negative, that might be a little bit more beneficial, because at least you can amplify the beneficial one to sort of negate the more negative one. But these ones, they're both sort of saying the same thing. We have a feeling of mourning, and we have a feeling of being overwhelmed as well. So, okay, let's move along and see if anything else comes up. Anything positive comes up, see if there's any light at the end of the tunnel. And again, even excuse me, even if the whole reading is negative, at least in understanding what it is that's affecting you, that's a step forward as well. At least what's happening, as opposed to all these negative things are affecting you, and you just don't even know what's happening. So at least we're trying to figure out some stuff, and at least hopefully if this reading does relate to you, then hopefully it'll give you some type of anchor point to go from there. Okay. All right, let's pull some more cards. Let's see what's up. Oof. All right, so the inverted Three of Swords. All right. This would okay, this is interesting. Let me take a moment to get my bearings here. So earlier I said this could also mean health, and with the inverted Three of Swords, that could also mean health as well. So this reading is sort of leaning towards some type of health issue. With it being inverted, it means it's actually a bit of light at the end of the tunnel. It means that the pain is ending. It means that you've probably underwent a surgery, or you've underwent something in which your body can heal. So, and I'm sorry if I haven't said this before, but the Pentacles represents our material bodies. It could also represent our finances as well. So again, with this being a card so drawn to health, it would probably represent our actual physical bodies rather than our finances. Of course, it's all tied in together, because if you don't have the finances to take care of yourself, the physical body is going to suffer as well. But here it would suggest, yeah, it would almost suggest that someone here has maybe lost a job because of health issues as well, or maybe they had to take too much time off from work to attend to their health matters, or maybe the health matters of a loved one, and that caused them not only great financial strain, but it caused them, possibly to have to look for work elsewhere. I mean, with the morning here as well, you've got everything kind of coming at you. So, if you do relate to this reading, if you do resonate with this reading, this card would suggest that whatever you've been through, that physical pain is coming to an end. All right, so let's see what the astrology die have to say. Another North Node. We've been getting a lot of nodes here today. All right, so North Node in Sagittarius in the 12th house. All right, another 12th house reading. Okay. Oh, and also, I don't believe I said it, but Pisces is, or the 12th house is ruled by Pisces, and a lot of times that would suggest an ending to a chapter, which with the morning card in here, it would say, okay, that's going to come to an end. Here we have, let me invert this. Here we have the inverted Three of Swords. That's saying that the pain is ending. It's also in the 12th house, which will also suggest that that is ending as well. All right, let's re-roll this. All right, 12th. All right, so we're in the third decan of Sagittarius. Okay, so the third decan of Sagittarius is the Lord of Oppression, which is ruled by Saturn. And so even though things may be coming to an end, it's still not yet time to celebrate, because with that Lord of Oppression coming in, Saturn wants a bit more of a commitment, to know that things are going to be what they are, to know that things are really going to come to an end. So perhaps maybe if this was a health issue that took a financial hit, maybe you have to build up some savings again or something like that, or maybe you have to cut out some, let's say, extraneous expenses, maybe cut out things that you don't necessarily need. So you're going to have to buckle down a little bit before you can really come out of this. Start saving for a rainy day. Start to add more support and structure, in particular to perhaps your finances, because it is the element of earth, and also perhaps to, let's say, a health regimen to help you get back to being 100%, or if it was a family member who had to experience this, make sure that you're committed to them and in a structured way to help them get back to their well-being as well. Okay, with this being influenced by the North Node, it would suggest, let's see. Okay, it would suggest perhaps you need to look towards some more karmic lessons that you need to learn to help you get out of this. Now again, with the Lord of Oppression, with Saturn's influence on Sagittarius here, it's saying, hey, not quite yet. It's not quite time to celebrate. We got to we gotta learn our lessons. So yeah, I would definitely say go through a period or to really analyze your actions, and to really do some soul searching, so that you can come out ahead on this, and that we can overcome the rest of these cards, which seem to be really dragging us down, man. Okay, let's see what else we have here. All right, so moving right along, the last element we have is water, which is represented by the cups, and it can represent our intuition. It can represent sometimes the ancestors, and generally our past and our emotional state. So let's see, what is water being influenced by? All right, well, there's some light at the end of the tunnel. So we have the Six of Wands. We got a lot of fire energy here. Yeah, 3 cards are all wands, which is, represented by the fire. Okay, so the Six of Wands is the Lord of Victory. And it could mean that on an emotional level, perhaps we've already come to that resolve. We're already feeling better than we have in a long time, even though the rest of this has been really dragging us down. And again, with this inverted Three of Swords, especially if someone's been overcoming some health issues, that can definitely be a relief to know that, nightmare is over at least. And on an emotional level, there is also some relief here too, because again, the Lord of Victory generally suggests that a victory is imminent. So at least on an emotional level, we're feeling better than we have in a while, even if the rest of it's kind of gone bad. All right, so let's see, what is the advice or outcome? So we've got Neptune in Cancer in the 5th house. All right. Very interesting. Okay, let's re-roll for the decan. All right, 4. So we are in the first decan. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's really interesting because we have a lot of Leo energy here. The Six of Wands is a middle decan of Leo, and it's also, we also have this in the house, or the 5th house, which is also represented by Leo. So here we have, despite everything that has gone wrong, despite our weakened state, despite feeling overwhelmed and daunted, and despite everything that we've lost, we're still overcoming this. And now it's time, at least on an emotional level, to basically party. I mean, you have victory, and it's also in the house of Leo, which is all about our entertainment and fun and just relaxing and having a good time. And here that rolled over. And with it being Neptune influencing Cancer here, the first decan of Cancer, I might add. Okay, so we have the first decan of Cancer is the Lord of Love. And again, we have sort of this sort of outpouring of emotion, and we have, with it being influenced by Neptune, it's saying basically to sort of suspend your doubts and disbeliefs for a while. Just kind of take a step back and just not be so much in your body, but out of your body. Again, the Lord of Love, it's also about finding love too. And so perhaps maybe we need to take a step back and to sort of find that love within the divine is kind of what I'm getting. It's sort of appreciating the life that we are given, and appreciating, even though that it may not be perfect, we are coming out stronger because of it. Yeah, that's really what I'm getting here. And despite all of this negativity, despite everything, you still have your health returning to you, and you still feel better than ever. You feel victorious about it. And it's also by having that faith, and by really, yeah, It's in losing everything. Excuse me. It's in losing everything that we sort of begin to rediscover who we are. I mean, I've had several of those moments in my life. So, yeah, I definitely know. Those times when you start to come out on the other side. You feel reborn. You feel okay. I overcame this, so I can do this again. There's no stopping me now. And yeah, this would suggest sort of a connection to, or a reconnection to a higher plane, a reconnection to, let's say, source energy, or, to a reconnecting to the Most High as well. Okay, so I think that's about it for today. If you've resonated with this, please leave a comment and let us know. Yeah, this was a very challenging reading, so I wish you the best, and I hope that you overcome whatever it is that you're going through, if this does resonate with you. So thank you for joining me on this episode today. Hope to see you again next week, and much love and blessings, and I love you all.